Have you ever wondered why the ancient Egyptians worshipped cats? It's a question that has puzzled historians and cat enthusiasts alike for centuries. Let's unravel this feline enigma together, shall we? Our journey begins with the earliest known evidence of feline admiration in ancient Egypt. You see, the love story between humans and cats began to emerge around the pre-dynastic period, over 5,000 years ago. These early depictions of cats in ancient Egyptian art weren't just for aesthetic pleasure. Oh no, they were profound symbols, signifying grace, poise, and a mysterious charm that's hard to put a finger on. As we delve deeper into the annals of history, we find that the domestication of cats wasn't a one-sided affair. It was more of a mutual agreement, a friendship, if you will. Cats were drawn to human settlements by the promise of easy meals, with rodents aplenty to catch. In return, humans welcomed these feline guests, appreciating their prowess in pest control. But the relationship between humans and cats in ancient Egypt transcended this practicality. You see, cats began to hold a special place in the hearts of the Egyptians, not just as mouse catchers, but as companions, symbols of grace and protection, and even as representations of divine power. The bond deepened over time, and cats moved from the granaries to the living rooms, becoming an integral part of the Egyptian household. From there, it was only a short leap to the temples and the hearts of the gods. The Egyptians began to see cats as sacred creatures, as embodiments of divine entities. So, cats have been a part of human civilization, especially in ancient Egypt, for thousands of years. But how did they become so revered? Well, my dear listener, rest assured, we'll explore that in our next chapter. Remember, every cat you see carries with it a legacy as old as civilization itself. Ancient Egyptians didn't just keep cats as pets, they worshipped them. In the mystical realm of ancient Egyptian religion, cats played an integral role. They were not simply companions but revered deities, holding sway over various aspects of life and afterlife. Among these divine beings, two feline goddesses were particularly significant: Sekhmet, the lioness goddess, and Bastet, the cat goddess. Sekhmet, often depicted as a lioness or a woman with the head of a lioness, was the goddess of warfare and healing. A paradoxical figure indeed. She was believed to breathe fire at the enemies of the pharaoh, offering protection and military might. Yet she was also the divine healer, curing ailments and warding off disease. This dual nature of Sekhmet, both fierce and nurturing, encapsulates the respect and fear that Egyptians held for the powerful lioness. Now let's shift our gaze to the gentler yet equally revered Bastet. With the body of a woman and the head of a lioness or domestic cat, Bastet was the goddess of home, fertility, and childbirth. Unlike her fiery counterpart Sekhmet, Bastet was seen as a protective and benevolent deity. She was the guardian of the pharaoh and the protector of the home. She was also the goddess of joy, music, and dance, bringing happiness and harmony to the daily lives of the Egyptians. Rituals and festivals were held in honor of these goddesses. Bastet's festival was one of the most widely celebrated events in ancient Egypt, attracting devotees from all corners of the kingdom. It was a joyous occasion filled with music, dance, and merriment, reflecting the goddess's association with joy and harmony. From being protectors to symbols of fertility, cats were more than mere pets in ancient Egypt. They held a divine status, their influence permeating every aspect of life. But that's not where their role ends. But what was their role in everyday life? Well, stay tuned. Beyond the divine, cats also played a significant role in everyday Egyptian life. Picture this, an ancient Egyptian household. It's not complete without a feline friend. Cats were cherished for their ability to hunt and protect homes from unwanted pests like snakes and rats. Imagine the family cat, not just a cuddly companion but a fierce protector, a small yet formidable force against the scaly and furry intruders. It's no wonder cats were beloved. They were the unsung heroes of the household. But here's the twist. Cats didn't just guard the living. Egyptians believed that cats could protect them in the afterlife as well. The idea was that, just as cats could fend off earthly pests, they could also keep away evil spirits in the life beyond. So it wasn't unusual for a cat to be buried alongside its owner, a guardian for all eternity. Now if you're thinking, well, that's a bit much, isn't it? Hold on to your hats because we're taking it up a notch. Egyptians didn't just bury their cats, they mummified them. Just like humans, cats were prepared for the afterlife with utmost care. They were embalmed, wrapped in fine linens, and placed in intricately decorated coffins. Some of these cat mummies were even adorned with jewelry. Talk about a lavish send-off. This practice was so prevalent that archaeologists have discovered cemeteries filled with thousands, yes, thousands of mummified cats. It's a testament not just to the love and respect Egyptians had for their feline companions, but also their deep-seated belief in the protective powers of these creatures. So, from hunting pests in the living world to guarding souls in the afterlife, cats were indispensable to the ancient Egyptians. They were more than just pets or even deities. They were trusted protectors, beloved companions, and cherished members of the family. As we can see, cats were more than just pets or gods. They were an integral part of life and death in ancient Egypt. The reverence Egyptians had for cats was so strong it influenced their laws and international relations. Now, imagine a legal system where the welfare of cats was a top priority. Yes, you heard it right. In ancient Egypt, laws were established to protect cats, and they were taken very seriously. It was illegal to harm or kill a cat, even accidentally. The punishment for such a crime was severe, often resulting in the death penalty. But it wasn't just domestic disputes that these laws influenced. They also had a significant impact on international relations, particularly with the Romans. To illustrate, let's travel back in time to a notorious incident when a Roman citizen killed a cat. You see, the Romans were aware of the Egyptians' reverence for cats, but one Roman, perhaps not fully grasping the depth of this adoration, committed the unthinkable act of killing a cat. The news of this act spread like wildfire, causing an uproar among the Egyptians. The local population was so incensed that they demanded justice, even though the offender was a foreigner and a Roman citizen at that. Despite the diplomatic tensions this could cause, the Egyptian authorities upheld their law. They refused to let the crime go unpunished, demonstrating just how seriously they took the protection of cats. The Roman citizen was subsequently executed, a grim reminder of the consequences of breaking the sacred laws protecting cats. This reverence for cats extended beyond their physical well-being. Cats were also protected by law from being taken out of Egypt. Many were smuggled out to meet the demand in other parts of the world, but those caught in the act faced the wrath of the Egyptian legal system. So the love and respect for cats were deeply ingrained in the Egyptian society and legal system. But how did this enduring legacy come to an end? Like all great civilizations, the era of ancient Egypt came to an end, but what happened to their beloved cats? As the sands of time shifted, so too did the fortunes of this once mighty civilization. The decline of ancient Egypt was a gradual process, taking place over centuries. This period of decline saw many changes, not least of which was the status of their beloved feline companions. Cats, once revered as divine beings, found their status shifting as the civilization that held them in such high esteem began to crumble. The spread of new religions, particularly Christianity, significantly impacted the worship of cats. Christianity, with its monotheistic beliefs, began to replace the old gods of Egypt, including the feline deities. As Christianity took hold, the worship of cats, once a cornerstone of Egyptian spirituality, was viewed as pagan and heretical. This marked a significant turning point for our feline friends. No longer were they seen as divine beings, but rather ordinary creatures, much like any other. Yet even as their divine status waned, cats continued to be cherished for their companionship and hunting skills. They may no longer have been worshipped as gods, but they were still valued members of society. So while the worship of cats ended with the decline of ancient Egypt, their legacy did not. The reverence and love the Egyptians had for cats have transcended time and cultures. Today we may not view cats as deities, but we still hold them in high esteem, cherishing them as companions and members of our families. In fact, the ancient Egyptians' respect and admiration for cats have significantly shaped our modern relationship with these enigmatic creatures. We continue to be captivated by their elegance, their independence, and their mysterious allure, much like the ancient Egyptians were thousands of years ago. While the worship of cats ended with ancient Egypt, their legacy continues to influence our relationship with these enigmatic creatures today.